Hello everyone, welcome to our Insight Talk on the latest changes to data segments and audience targeting in Google Ads. As we all know, advertising has been an essential part of businesses to reach out to their target audiences. Now, Google Ads has been one of the most effective platforms for businesses to showcase their products and services. Google is always evolving and enhancing its platform to make advertising more targeted and effective. Recently, Google has made some significant changes to data segments and audience targeting. Like today, we have Padmaja, a growth and digital marketer at First Principles Growth, to tell us how they will impact businesses. Before we begin, I would like to remind the audience that we will have a question answer sessions after the presentations to answer any questions that you have. Over to you, Padmaja.
Thank you so much, Jyoti. In fact, Google Ads already started the updates and in a phased manner from, we can say, about 2022 itself, and the complete rollover or complete thing will happen by August, but the changes have already begun, so as to say.
Yeah, that's actually so yeah, it's like sounds exciting. And so to start off the conversations today, can you please explain what changes are happening in audience targeting?
Yeah, sure. So let's start. Let's see what Google Ads did in 2022. What are the changes that we have seen so far? I'll just do a quick recap of that before we go specifically into the updates in data segments and audience targeting, which is actually happening right now and which will complete by probably by August. Everything will be done. So to start with, let me just who I am. I think Jyoti has introduced me already. So we at First Principles are a small team of digital marketers and growth specialists helping in growing all SaaS businesses and e-commerce businesses. So now let's start with why we are here today. So this is just a cover page to give just a quick intro of what is Google Ads. So why Google Ads? Google Ads, it's just for the effect. I just put it there twice. So what does Wikipedia say? And we all know that Google Ads has been around for maybe 23 years right now. It's the highest revenue generator for all Google businesses, about 168.6 billion in 2020 and increasing. And we all know what Google Ads does, right? So it works on a PPC model, and Google is probably the most searched or most used browser in so that's why Google Ads plays such a significant role in all Google businesses, because almost 70% of market share. I know it's changing because of ChatGPT, but I think even with AI, even now, I think Google search network is the strongest that is there. So what are the changes in Google Ads which started in 2022 and which is going to go on in 2023? I've just given the pointers here. We can just go through these quickly before we actually dwell into what exactly we are here for. So cost per lead increase. We all know expanded text ads, went, and then they are replaced by RSAs, and then a lot of smart shopping and local campaigns were ended, or the whole part was ended, and then we moved to performance max campaigns.
Yes.
The data segments and audience targeting changes are ongoing right now, and this is something which is probably rather than saying ending, this is one thing which is probably a silver lining, is that now we'll be able to see competitor advertising insights. And then vehicle listing ads have come up. Before they were not there. So now we've got a new ad type, and the business names and logo assets have, are also added. I think most of you who are in Google Ads are aware of some of these, or most of these. let me just give a quick overview of how it's affecting Google Ads overall. So cost per lead increase for everyone. This is a universal thing that happened since last year. Universally across the board, the cost per lead increased, which, as such is not a good news for us, but specifically for arts and entertainment category, the change is been very huge. Lot of furniture industries and automotive industries, they saw a lot of increase in the cost per lead. But for all of these, there are ways to actually reduce the cost per lead. It's not that just because Google decided to have the cost per lead across segments increase, that's how it's going to be. There are ways that it can be optimized. We can talk about a few ways later on in this video, or if you want to reach out to us, we can discuss in case you have a very specific need that your cost per lead is increasing, then we should definitely be able to help you, right? And expansive search ads, which were actually a very good feature since probably 2016, I think. That's when it started. But as of June 2022, expansive search ads have been made redundant and they have been replaced by RSAs now. I would say it's for one, I was a little, when it was replaced, I was one of those who were a little apprehensive about, hey, is RSAs going to keep up to expansive search ads? There are a lot of work which Google has done on RSA, so yes, it is getting better and better and better. But let's see what the future holds for RSAs and what other changes Google is going to bring up in that. So this is something I've just literally taken it from from Google. So expensive search ads, now everything is responsive search ads. So what happens is this RSA is probably the next level of what Google wants to do and what we want as well, right? Machine learning and actually predictive algorithms, which are able to responsively adapt to the message of what a customer wants to see. I think this is paving the way for how things are going to go. So I think Google adopted it before, and it's actually, when it started, it took some time, but I think now it's kind of in an optimized stage where we feel that it's definitely improving campaigns performance as long as we are doing everything else in tandem and working with Google Ads to make sure that the campaign's performance is increasing. So that's another change that Google Ads brought across. So this was another end of the road for smart shopping and local campaigns, and they were just replaced. When it came to probably expansive search ads and responsive search ads, there was a phase up to which you could actually use the expansive search ad. So if you were going to, RSAs, and then there'll be a small column where you can use the expansive search ad. But in this case, they simply just changed it to performance max campaigns, which is good. For small and medium businesses, smart shopping and local campaigns were working very well. But I think performance max campaigns actually help the reach more, right? So they were able to reach into, say, Google discovery feed. So the reach was more when it came to performance max campaigns. So I think that's the advantage of replacing these. So more or less what Google has done is it's taken things out and replaced it. Same with maybe normal search engine features as well. But at the same time, made sure that the integrity is not lost, and then the conversions are almost the same, or if it is optimized, it is getting better for sure. This is something which is, I would say, a very good feature what is coming up now. Google Ads Center, if you go, it has something called the advertiser pages. So if you go to the advertiser pages, you can actually see all the ads that the advertiser has run for over the past 30 days. This is a very user-centric feature that Google has come up with, but at the same time, we can see what our competitors are also doing. So it's a dual benefit, and then you can see the ads that are run by the advertiser, whether it's a text ad, whether it's an image ad, or whether it's a video ad. So you're able to see any type of ad run for the last 30 days. So it's very good for from a user-centric perspective, but we can also use it to see what our competitors are running ads for and how are they running it, right? So this I think is a silver lining when it comes to Google introducing new features. So this is something we had already spoken about. So now there's a new ad type for vehicle listing. We never had like vehicle listing kind of ad type. So now, as you're able to see, if you put like 2023 cars for sale, it actually brings up this kind of ad placement. So this is something that Google has added. And the other one is the logo assets. The business name and logo assets can be changed. If you see, you are able to showcase the business better with the logo. I think this is something that Google has added now. So this is an advantage that the logo and the business gets more visibility on Google Ads. So these are some of the things that we have spoken about, overall changes that Google Ads has done. At the same time, the one thing we should remember is Google will be coming up with changes. Now we'll talk about what's the changes it's bringing in, data segments, etc. But as a campaign manager, the focus is to make sure that the campaigns are run effectively, right? We should adopt. So the same way that ad campaign managers need to adopt to any changes in Google, the same way that SEO people should be able to adopt to any changes that Google does on its search engine, right? So both SEO and ads, I think the most important thing is, one is to adapt, and second one is just keep an eye on your campaigns day in and day out. Keep optimizing them, keep tracking them, and keep running A/B tests. I think that's the main thing that as ad managers we should keep doing. Keep working on not only saying that, hey, what is the CPC, or what is how many leads am I getting? That's the final metric. Or how many visitors am I getting? What is like the cost per click? But also all the other metrics that we can track. There are some metrics that generally Google ad campaigns, when especially the starters, don't look at, like the quality of leads that we are getting, the quality cost. So those are the things that what I'm saying here on my ad, is it the same when they reach the landing page? Right here, you might say visit a 5-star hotel and immerse yourself in a gateway that you'll never forget. When they click on it, is it actually going to the link, and is it actually saying the same thing, or am I giving a different message in my landing page? So there are a few things that the campaign managers should be very clear about. Experienced campaign managers can do this, but if you're starting out, if you're a small business just starting out, make sure you have a list. There is a big Google Help Center which helps you exactly how to run it. And the one more thing I would give a tip for people starting out, because I've seen a lot of SaaS businesses, when they start out with Google Ads because it gets you the quick leads, quick revenue in the door by the time you build your marketing funnel. The thing to keep an eye on here as well is run Google already has an automated algorithm which does the automated bidding. So there is one school of thought which says, hey, I want to do manual bidding. There's one school of thought which lets Google do its bidding. Always run A/B campaigns. One may be for manual bidding, one may be for automated bidding. And then always, like in any other marketing scenario, see the analytics, see the data, see the results, what's coming through, and then do changes to the campaigns. If any keywords are not working, make sure you change them. There's no need for you to stick to the keywords just because you feel that, hey, that's a keyword. You can stop it, you can start the campaign again. So group your keywords, have all your campaigns managed effectively. Don't have, if for a different group of keywords, you want to create a landing page, create as many landing pages as you want. There is nothing stopping that all Google ads need to go to one landing page. If you're explaining a feature which is maybe a different one, make sure you create a different landing pages. So these are some of the tips that business owners, when they're starting out and they don't have campaign manager, experienced campaign manager, they are running their own campaigns, can keep track of. So now let's go to changes in the data segment and audience tracking. Okay, so Google, there's a lot of words here. So what it says is Google is going to stop supporting what it's called as similar audiences or similar segments now. So what it's going to do is it's going to have a slightly more different solution, and also the way that the similar audiences, the whole dashboard, the whole similar audiences section is going to be slightly altered, changed, and it's going to have a very, very, very consolidated view. Right now, if you, okay, so let me take one step back and tell you what exactly is similar audience or similar segments. If I probably explain that, it'll be easier for you to understand. What is a similar audience is probably, if you have used Facebook, you have like lookalike audience, right? So this Google brought similar audience for Facebook's lookalike audience, right? So the reason why Google wants to probably move this is it's going to make it more consolidated, comprehensive, and it's going to, I'm not saying it's going to take it off, it's going to have an audience list, but in a different way. So how is it going to have the audience list in a different way is something we'll see in the next slide. Okay, so how to use customer match list as a signal in smart building and search and shopping campaigns. Okay, so what we can do is, let me go to this one. I think this will be easier for us to, okay. Yeah, so here, if you see, probably the first section will explain exactly what it is. Have 1,000 matched users. So if you have used Twitter or if you have used Facebook ads, you can actually see how their lookalike audience looks. So if I want to target somebody, maybe, I want to sell a t-shirt and it's going to be a men's t-shirt, and I want to sell it specifically for maybe 20 to 30 because it's got your cool messaging on it, which I think audience of 70 or 80 or even an audience of 5 years old might not appreciate, then I do a very specific targeted ads, right? So I specify everything whom I want to run the ads for, and the ads will be shown for that audience, right? And there is a feature that you can add a list of names or a list of target audience who are similar to the similar to whom we are targeting. So what happens is the algorithm picks up the audience, matches them or their data to the other audience available, and then targets those, right? So it's like similar segments. So if I want to reach somebody like, say, a CEO of a SaaS company, then I give a broader audience of, hey, I want to reach a CEO of a SaaS company, and I give probably a similar audience type that, hey, XYZ CEO of XYZ company, XYZ CEO of XYZ company, XYZ CEO of XYZ company. So I define those, and once I define those, then the algorithm picks it up and then learns it and then targets the broader audience of the same similar category. Now, this is going to slightly change, and that's what it says here. If you see, algorithm generally looks for signals which they can work on and find an audience with similar features or activities, right? So if I'm selling maybe a sports equipment, then it will look for, Facebook will look for people who have put their photos in the gym or who have done the workout, and it will actually target them, right? And within the other parameters that I want to, if I don't want to sell to men, then it will look for only women who have that in their profile or in their activity. Similarly, Google does almost the same thing, what is called as targeting. And also the other thing is, if you are visiting a website, you might have seen that that's like a retargeting, but if you are visiting a website, Google notes that and offers you the ads of anything that you like based on your past visits. So if I have been to a Nike website, nike.com, and then probably I go after 2 days to some other site, I'll see all the Nike shoes available to me, right? Because that's audience targeting. I've already been to Nike.com. Nike.com has defined me as an audience to be targeted. Google has traced me, and then it's offering me all the Nike products, even 2 days down the line. Even sometimes 1 week down the line, you get, on other websites that you visit, you get your past visits. So that's audience tracking and segmentation. So this is like, in a broader sense, what is audience tracking and what is data segments. So, and that's what it says here, and include them in targeting radar to improve on performance. So if I have visited a website, then I'll be inclined to actually go and buy it because I've seen the site once, right? Okay. So now I think it'll be easier for you to understand what it says on here, because sometimes even I get confused when I see too many words on a presentation. So like it says here, optimized targeting feature is a good way to enable machine learning to find new and relevant audience who are likely to convert. Either you do a keyword search, or you have already visited a website and then you are picked up as a likely person who might be able to buy their services. It actually looks beyond manually selected audience segment in the campaign to find audiences that may have been missed. Okay, so that's where the machine learning comes in. We can say, hey, on a broader range, this is who we want to sell, but that's where the machine learning comes in, helps pick up things that others also might be searching. So if for example, like First Principles, you want to come and see what First Principles does, you can say, hey, I want a checklist for SaaS. If you say SaaS SEO checklist, you will see First Principles as somebody who shows up in the search result and maybe in the ad result as well, right? We might think that a checklist will be important to digital marketers or CEOs and anybody who is doing that, but one of our target audience could also be somebody who is writing a thesis, right? Or somebody who is actually doing a course in digital marketing. So they might also want to use a checklist. So, and they might actually come in and download it, right? So if I set my ad campaigns for the target is the number of downloads or the number of leads, it searches for a wider audience who also can use that. not just those which we have defined, because we might have our way of thinking, but the machine might take it, the Google ad might actually expand it and actually present it to other audience who might be actually our people who want to download that, or people who want that service, right? And then to enable optimized targeting for display campaigns. Okay, so this is something we have just given in detail where to go, how to actually do it. So if I'll actually probably put it in the web page, so that anybody who wants to actually kind of see how to go in a Google Ad Center. I don't think I'll have time to do it, but I'll see if I can make a quick video later on to actually show you the Ad Center and see how to go to automated bidding and then do it. Yeah, please feel free to do that. So I'm actually going the opposite way. Okay, so this is what the changes is going to, what is going to happen. Okay, so it's one of these things that Google Ads will not be supporting, but it will be moving it to a different pace or a different place with a more different solution that will be probably with the support of its own AI and machine learning tools. We will have the feature, but it will be in a difference. If you see here, have 1,000 Google. So what does Google say actually? Have 1,000 matched users, need to have 90 days of Google ad history, and the customer list must be gathered using Google's policy of first party context. Then as Google campaign managers, what do we need to do? Use a good customer list to teach the machine algorithm so that it also finds accurate audiences to target. So we have to do the first steps. We have to give it an exact list that it can use it as a foundation and build on. Because if we provide the accurate data, the AI or the machine learning will actually take it and use it for a campaign and reach. Because as far as Google Ads are concerned, every click is money, right, guys? So we need to make sure that the customer list that we are giving it as a base is exactly accurate and targeted at the audience that we want the campaign to reach. And keep separate priority list of customers and exclude a few audience list from a few campaign targeting. So when you are running a lot of campaigns, nobody runs one campaign, right? So we run a lot of campaigns. We can do a testing. We can exclude some audience list and include some, and then maybe slowly start including the audience list at a later date to see how the campaign is performing. It's all about optimizing and all about actually going and managing the spend. Google Ads is all about managing the spend to make sure that yes, it also manages your spend, but you also need to make sure that it's optimized. So I think that's up to us to do that. So what's the final verdict on this? Final phases, you won't be able to use similar segments for targeting and reporting. It will be removed and it will just go away from or everywhere in Google Ads, including the audience manager. But as it is given here, if we have a good customer list to start with, I think that's something we can definitely keep using to make sure that our campaigns are reaching in a more effective way. So I think that's the final take that we have right now. That's it from me, Jyoti.
Thank you, Padmaja, for such an insightful presentations on the latest changes to data segmentations and audience targeting in Google Ads. I'm sure our audience would have benefited gratefully from this. Okay. But apart from this, we have got some question answer sessions. Here are some of the questions from our audience. So I would like to share with you, Padmaja. Why is Google introducing so many changes in 2023? not only ads but across board, right? Is it
Yep.
purely due to AI in the market? Do you think so?
I think AI is one of the reasons. Definitely, AI is a contributing reason. I have no doubt about that. But if you see a lot of changes that happen in Google or in the search world, some of it is also linked to the real world scenarios, right? We have seen from 2022, I think things have been slightly different in terms of like post-pandemic world, in terms of the inflation rise everywhere. Small and medium businesses are actually struggling. There is a lot of change in the market, and we'll have to see how things go on. So I think that's also contributing factor to why Google is bringing in so many changes, because the user is changing. What the user wants is changing, and every search engine needs to adapt to the changes in the user's perception. Now we have I hardly, maybe, while working, you are purely sitting in the laptop and working. But after that, if you have to shop, you always look into your mobile, right? Or you're always on, maybe doing a voice search. So Google and every search engine for that matter has to adapt to all of these. So AI tools, yes, it has added to it, to the equation, but the Google and others are also considering all these to actually adapt more faster, and to actually look beyond. Their teams are actually looking beyond and seeing the next steps, and actually anticipating the next steps, and actually doing the changes. So I think that's why we'll be seeing more changes across the board.
That's even I also agree with that. So we have one more question, that what do you think will be in the future of Google Ads?
um Google Ads is already adopting to the machine learning and actually kind of artificial intelligence. So that has actually done better campaign performance and easier optimization. And also because of all the data handling and the data privacy which has come along right now, I think there will be some changes. There will be privacy guideline changes more, and voice searches will be more. So these are the ones that are going to come. So because there was a big debate going on when ChatGPT came, that hey, is SEO going to be there? Right? Is Google Ads going to be there? Because people might go to ChatGPT for all answers. So will Google Ads be there? And here in May, we're still using Google Ads as much as we used to use 6 months or 8 months before, right? So I feel that there'll be we'll adapt to it and adapt our way across, but it's definitely going to be there, and it's also going to move as fast as we are moving.
Yeah. And I totally agree, because once the chat GPT got launched, there was a huge competitions where, and people were getting confused that, oh my God, Google is going to exist, or Google ads are going to exist. So yeah, I totally agree with that point. So we have the one more question, that is, can you give some quick tips for Google ads optimization for Google for everyone?
Let me, since we are in brevity of time, let me just give you a list of it. If you need more details, we have literally a world-class digital marketing team which can actually help you run your campaigns and actually help you in all of these. But for anybody who's starting out, these are the quick tips for Google optimization. There are some which I already gave. Landing copy and your ad copy need to say the same thing. Okay, group your ads, group them together so that the campaign management is easy, so that the Google Ads machine learning is able to actually pick things up. Don't have 2 or 3 accounts by which you are running your ads, right? Use negative keywords. There is a school of thought which talks about not using negative keywords, but I would say definitely experiment with negative keywords, right? Campaign types. Use a lot of campaign types, right? And as I said in the presentation, use manual bidding and automated bidding, both. Do an A/B testing, but use both types of biddings. Check your links. If your link is given there, make sure it works and it keeps working. If you change the link or if the link goes down, make sure you pause the campaign till the link goes down, right? And focus on metrics like CTR and CPC, which everyone tracks, right? But make sure you track your quality score. Make sure you track your cost per acquisition, right? What's the cost per acquisition from start to finish? The return on ad spend, right? Conversion rate. Make sure you track all these metrics and then optimize your ads for a better campaign and to get more leads. So these are the main things I would say. And keep optimizing your ad messages, right? Depending on what's working, not working.
So thank you, Padmaja, for answering all the questions. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. We hope you found the Insight Talk informative and useful. Stay tuned for such Insight Talks in the future. Have a great day ahead, Dave.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Bye now.